Welcome to the call of the meeting. I'd like to, first item, I'd like to introduce Gary Coker. He is our substitute attorney. Chris is on vacation and Gary's filling in for him, so we appreciate him being here.
Amen.
We do have a quorum present and with the stand for invocation. Ladies, quickly. Sure.
Yes, sir. Once again, Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day and all the many blessings we've had. Ask you to be with us as we go take care of the city's business, Lord, that you'll give us the wisdom we need to make the right decisions on everything that we do here. Thank you for the folks in the audience, Lord, and their presentations they're going to give us. I do want to pray for Laney right now, Lord. I know she's sick, so just be with her in a special way. I do want to pray for her. I do want to pray for all the workers in the city, or all the employees that we have, and just be with them in special ways they take care of business. And I want to pray especially for the fire department and the police department, Lord, as they make calls. Just be with them in every way possible. That's my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. This item on our agenda is discussion and possible action on approval of the minutes of January 9th, 2023 council meeting and the February 1st, 2023 special call council meeting.
Mayor, make a motion that we approve the minutes of January 9th, 2023 council meeting, and also the February 1st, 2023 special call meeting.
We have a motion, we have a second. Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor of approving the minutes of January 9th and February 1st meeting, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Time now for our public comments. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter, whether or not that item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes for each speaker. If more than one person wishes to address the same subject, a spokesperson must be selected who will be recognized to represent the group. Your comments are appreciated. The Texas Open Meetings Act does not allow the council to discuss items not listed on the agenda. However, if possible, your question may be answered with a statement of policy, statement of fact, or may be placed on a future agenda for attention by council. You also may be directed to the appropriate department head to address your questions or comments. Does anyone like to speak this time during the public comment? All right, well, now we'll move on. So we're in our reports and comments time for city staff.
Mayor, Public Works Department has nothing new to report on streets or construction projects at this time. The collections that we did on greenways were similar numbers from last month, so nothing new. Still no word on MacArthur Drive. I'm still asking. That's about where we are.
Thank you. Matt, you have anything, police department?
Yes, sir. For January, we had 45 traffic contacts, investigated 3 crashes, made 56 arrests, had 46 reports filed, 394 calls for service, 9,486 miles driven. For code enforcement, investigated 86 violations with 5 of those filed with the city court.
Mayor, the fire department didn't have a report because they're on call right now.
Well, let's take care of that. We'll move on into our regular session. There's a presentation by Law & Order Law Firm regarding outstanding municipal court debt collection. Y'all.
You want us to go over there?
You can,
But that's okay.
everybody might be able to hear you with their.
They probably would.
My name is Beverly Haggard. I'm with Linebarger Law Firm. I've worked with Linebarger for the last 30 years. Hate to say that, but anyway, we have had a presence here in Orange County since 1993 doing delinquent property tax collection. We started here doing the 5 school districts, and then in 1999 ended up getting all the taxing entities and working for the county since then. We maintain an office here in Orange down near the courthouse and have, like I said, most people don't recognize our name because of the type of work we do. But we've implemented a very successful delinquent tax program in this county, and it's been real successful, I think, in helping all the entities. But tonight, what they're wanting to come and talk to you about is the fees and fines specifically for the city. That is handled just like we have a special delinquent tax section of our law firm. We have a special section that devotes to fees and fines for all the taxing entities and things that need that. And so tonight I have with us, Richard Hill, who is a capital partner with our firm. And then we have Brandy Stacy in the middle there, and Camilla Battle. They're the fees and fines liaisons. Those would be the people you'd be working with if y'all, decide to go in that way. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of introduce and let you know we're really not strangers in this county. We've been here a long time. Anyway, thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to Brandy now.
Thank you, Beverly. Mayor and Council, thank you for having us this evening. I believe I passed out a handout to everyone. We'll follow that on part of our presentation. Who are we? Linebarger is the largest collection law firm in the nation and has over 46 years of government experience. We have offices in 13 states and lawyers in all 50 states. We help courts collect delinquent receivables that might otherwise be lost, and that in turn generates revenue for the city. We are a no-cost service to the city. We're able to do so and collect and provide this service at no cost, as the debtor pays a fee authorized by the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 103.0031, authorizing a 30% collection fee on debts and account receivables, such as unpaid fines, fees, court costs, forfeited bonds, and restitution by municipal court. What sets us apart? We have tailored programs that we use in our collection methods. We have proven results with our clients, and our adaptability, our communication, resourcefulness, and our ability to adjust to systems and technologies as needed. We also have an experienced team for both the back end on our IT technical staff and the front end with our liaisons. On the whole, we have over 120 attorneys who oversee each client and monitors the legal standards for each city. We have an operational staff of over 175 highly trained IT staff that include in-house system architects, programmers, analysts, security experts, and network engineers. We have a firm-wide backup in case of power outages, hurricanes, freezes, or other natural disasters. We have trained collectors in our call center in San Antonio that specialize in collecting delinquent accounts. They all go through an ACA training, which is the Association of Credit and Collection Professionals, to ensure our debt collection practices, and our collectors are trained to abide by the standard of conduct for the industry. We have 8 call centers around the US, and they're staffed with full-time collectors that are bilingual or multilingual to accommodate all of our customers. And we also operate in all 4 US time zones. Our professional services are top tier. We pride ourselves on setting the bar for the highest quality of service. Our collection efforts include inbound and outbound call and letter campaigns, advanced skip tracing, monthly portfolio reports, and specialty campaign assistance such as warrant roundups. We call these our non-traditional collection methods. We utilize skip tracing. We use 6 to 8 different skip tracing companies all at one time to ensure that we have the correct address and the correct information for each debtor. We also use the NCOA, which is the National Change of Address. So to make sure that anyone, if they have forwarding addresses, that we have that information to update our client database. As mentioned earlier, we do have the 8 call centers. Linebarger doesn't accept any payments. We refer all the debtors back to the court to take the payments at the court. If you have a dedicated warrant officer, we offer a free GIS mapping tool that shows where the debtors are in your area. So basically, it's like a GPS to show where they are in adjacent to whatever location that you choose. Lastly, we have specialized mailings. These mailings are a little different than our regular mailings in that they're initiated through the court and communicated to us in the form of a warrant roundup or a warrant resolution. These are special letters that are mailed to the entire portfolio. They're vetted by our legal standards committee to ensure compliance with state and federal regulations. Linebarger offers value-added services. For instance, we continue to collect and work on the account until the account is recalled by the client or if the debtor is deceased. We have extensive trained IT staff that can assist with the software that the city is currently using. I believe that the court right now uses UDS software. We have a relationship with UDS. We also have a Linebarger interface module that marries UDS system to our system so we can electronically transfer the files to us. Each client will receive a dedicated liaison like myself and colleague, and will also generate the monthly client activity reports and deliver them to you monthly, either electronically or in person or both. Since Linebarger is a law firm, our attorneys are available to interpret state and federal statute regulations and rulings that govern the collection of delinquent receivables, including our legislative team. Now that I've given you a little background, you're probably wondering what's the process. Our client setup process, it's fairly simple. We first provide you with our proposed contract for the city, along with the agenda items and the postings for review and city council approval. Once approved, the data collection process begins. The liaison gets in touch with the court administrator and collects specific information for the court, like hours of operation, payment methods, if there's a third-party website to get the information where they can make a payment online, or do they only come to the court? We capture that information, we write it down, put it in our system, and send it to our IT contract manager, who then will start building a portfolio, a client profile for the city. It is then a letter is generated, so it's a letter template. It shows you the letter that we send to our debtors. And then also at this time is when you request the UDS module, so the systems can marry, so you can begin the process. The process takes 30 to 45 days. So this is going to include the contract approval, letter setup, data implementation, and then mailing out. There are many benefits in using Linebarger. One, we're a law firm. Our letters are drafted on our letterhead, so if a debtor receives a letter and wants to look at Google our address or Google our name, they'll know that we're a real law firm. Again, we're at no cost to the city. As Beverly mentioned, we do have a local office, so we have a local presence here with the city. You'll get 2 dedicated people, a dedicated liaison like myself or colleague, and then you'll also on the back end have a dedicated IT person that will handle all the data functionality. It's technology. It's good when it's good, it's not when it's not. So we'll have somebody there that can help with that transition. And then we also provide monthly reports. The monthly reports will show you the work that we're doing and also provide transparency of that work that we're doing. A few current clients that we have a few in the Golden Triangle area: Port Neches, Nederland, City of Beaumont, Missouri City, Jefferson County, hopefully you. In summary, we service more than 2,500 governmental entities nationwide. We're the largest collection firm in the nation. Our customer service, the relationships we build, and the pride we take with each of our clients are second to none. We'd love to have you as a Fine and Fees client. And then at this time, that concludes my presentation, and I'll open the floor to any questions.
So you keep saying it's no cost to the city, but y'all do take 30% of whatever you collect.
Yes, sir.
Actually, it's not a percentage of what we owe to the city. That 30% is part of that 103.0031 statutory. It's in addition to 100% of what's owed to the city. So the city will get every dime, every dollar of the fine and the cost that has been assessed for that violation. The 30% is an add-on that is paid to the law firm by statute for the work that it does to collect those dollars.
So that comes from.
The debtor.
The debtor, that's correct.
Several months ago, I asked our court clerk what our outstanding debt was, uncollected fines. And she reported to me that we had $1,030,000 in outstanding fines that needed to be collected. I talked to Judge Thibodeau about this, and he told me, you know, they do have people that do this, that go out after these people. I talked to the mayor, and he said, research it and find somebody. And, which I did, and I decided that I would bring Lombard to the council to consider having them do our outstanding debt collection.
Do we have anybody right now that does that?
Sir?
Do we have anybody right now that does that, Jay?
No. Yeah, we can do cases pro fines where the people are arrested and they can't get out of jail unless they pay the money or sit the time out. And a lot of times, what I have seen in the short time that we've been working with the court is a lot of them just sit it out in jail, which costs the city.
It costs the city money.
Yeah. So I think this is a good thing,
Yes, sir.
and it certainly can't hurt us.
Any other comments? Yeah, no, you're.
Will this just be for warrants, not for just regular fines?
What is considered a regular fine?
Well, like, if they have a question,
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily have to be warrants, as long as it's 61 days delinquent that they haven't paid. So UDS actually has the module does warrants and non-warrants. So it doesn't have to just be warrants.
$1,030,000.
was that everything or just warrant? Yeah.
I think that was everything. She totaled everything.
Next question, you said that your IT would tie into our software. If you go in and find that we're 40 addresses behind and you find a new address, do y'all go in and change it, or do you let us know for us to change it?
We update it in our system. So if there's nothing, you don't have to update it, we update it. Because what happens is we have a call center in San Antonio. So say you call me and I'm at the call center. When you call me and you say, what's the hours of operation? When are they open? How do I make a payment? When you call, there's a profile that pulls up. When they call, we've already vetted them through our skip tracing vendors. So we already have an address in there. I know in the past couple of years, like when the IRS had the stimulus payments, everyone, in order to get it, you had to update your address. So that helped. We also go through the National Change of Address firm. So if someone has moves and has a forwarding address, we collect that as well. So that's part of the 6 to 8 skip tracing companies that we have. They're constantly looking for new addresses. So whether you're trying to apply for a new credit card, a house, a car, it sends a ping and then we get that ping. So once y'all send the data and the information over to us, we update it in our system.
Right, but it then automatically updates it in our system, is what I'm getting, it doesn't.
No. Once you send it over to us, it comes to us and stays in our profile. Now, if you want something, we can probably generate something to send to you, like an Excel sheet that shows you these are the updated addresses. However, if you have a warrant officer, the GIS mapping tool, the GPS in the area that I was speaking of, that will show you that. It's 5 users, it's free, you just log in with the internet and it'll pull up the information. It ties with our system, so then yes, you would see it in that aspect, but we don't send it to you initially.
So are you linked to our computer system? Is it?
It's the software. It's the software. Our interface module, marries with the UDS software, so everything is sent electronically. So the court administrator or the court clerk will go in once the systems marry. For example, there's a fee report or new placement report. They'll hit the button on their screen. It takes like 5 minutes, so it's not taking a lot of time out of the court clerk or court administrator's day. And it sends the information over electronically. Once we get it, then our IT people, assess it, divide it, start sending it to the skip tracing people and start working on it.
So, yeah. They're not paying the bill now. I mean, they're not coming in to pay their, you got $1 million worth of, more, whatever.
Yeah.
Debt, to the city. How does it get from y'all to us? I mean, you're gonna find those people and you're gonna send them the official line border law firm letter.
So
They're gonna know that they have to go pay that, but they're not paying it now. I mean,
well, when you get a letter from a lawyer, it kind of sparks a fire under them. We send letters, but we also have call campaigns. So we don't just call once and say, oh, they did not respond. We continuously do it because we don't get paid unless we can generate money for the city. So it would behoove us to use all of our resources to help you gain revenue.
I guess what I was getting at was, is this gonna entail more labor in the city?
No, it's all on us.
It's all about you calling and making sure they know that they're in trouble.
Right, you don't utilize any of the resources except the court clerk sending the information over electronically. We absorb the cost of the mailings, our employees at the call center, we do all of that. Literally, all y'all have to do is, approve the contract, have the court clerk get the line barger module. Now, there may be a fee with that module. It's based upon the amount of cases that you have in your portfolio, but we reimburse the city for that. So say, for example, it's $1,200 through UDS, then we'll reimburse the city for that. So it's no cost to you at all. Then once they send everything over, we do the mailings, the call campaigns, the letterhead, we do everything. There's no other cost to the city.
And then once the debt is paid, how does the city get reimbursed for that?
Well, what we do is, at the court clerk will send a fee report, right? So we send everyone to the court to make the payments because we don't take any payments. So we rely on the court staff, or court administrator, court clerk, whichever one will be doing it, to send us a fee report. What that'll entail is a list of all the debtors that have paid, and then that's how we retract it from our system. Once we do that, then we do our invoicing, we reconcile it from our system. So basically we take it out, we send a copy to the court clerk of saying, this is what we have as paid. This is the Excel sheet that'll come with it. So there's a cover sheet saying we collected $30,000 for you guys. You owe us $2,700. And then we send the Excel sheet with all the debtor information that was given to us from the fee report. So you can see what it is. So everything matches. And that's done monthly.
So that is if they pay in full.
Yes.
A couple of things that came up during the discussion of the exchange. The software interface that we have with UDS, there may be a cost associated with that to open that link or connect that link from your software to our law firm software. Whatever that invoice is, after you pay it, you send it to me and I'll reimburse you for that cost of linking the softwares together. So there won't be any cost out of pocket for the city as far as that is concerned. The collection staff that Brandy mentioned that we use in San Antonio, I think it's important to know that all of those folks are employees of the line barger law firm. We don't farm that out to some call center, some folks in some other country that we all hate to talk to. Those folks are employees of our law firm. They're trained in our law firm under legal standards, and they're answerable to our law firm and not somebody else who's paying their salary. And thirdly, Brandon said you get two dedicated people, the liaison and the IT person, but you also get a lawyer that's going to be dedicated to this account as well, and that'll be me. So the transition with regards to what happens once we begin the collection process, Mayor, Initially, it's been our experience that the court will see an uptick in the amount of traffic that it receives both in the door and over the phone because of the interest that our letters will generate on behalf of resolving these cases. So initially, there will be some extra work in the court, but it'll be for processing trial dates and it'll be for processing payments and it'll be for resolving those cases. As we go along, that will level out, and it will become a regular routine kind of situation that the court will see. Money coming through the door with a tear-off coupon that will go out with the letter that identifies the account that they're attempting to resolve.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard.
You're welcome. Anything else?
I'm assuming they'll be on your agenda for us to go.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much.
Well, I hate to see y'all leave and not attend the rest of the bar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Who's gonna be in orange? Okay, that's right, there we go.
Have an office right downtown.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can always get in touch with me. Because I can.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Y'all be safe.
Thank you.
All right. Our second item is discussion and possible action on an application of West Orange Volunteer Fire Department submitted by Kelton's Clay.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the application to the West Orange Volunteer Fire Department submitted by Kelton's Clay Hudson.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Very good. Is there any discussion? Got his application before you, review. Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of accepting Clay Hustle into the volunteer fire department, Kelton Clay Hustle. Please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 3, discussion possible action on application to West Orange Volunteer Fire Department submitted by Daniel J. Diaz.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept the application to the West Orange Volunteer Fire Department submitted by Daniel J. Diaz.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I hear both these guys are real good, Mr. Mayor. Credentials and schooling and all that stuff, so it's gonna be a good addition to our fire department.
Thank you, Mike. Hearing no discussion, I'll call for vote. All in favor of accepting Daniel J. Diaz into the West Orange Volunteer Fire Department, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask you a question?
Yes?
The firemen came back from the call, can they give their report now?
Yes. If you're ready.
Yes, during the month of January and February, since we didn't do it last month. The month of January, we ran 2 structure fires, 3 firearms, 5 medical calls, 2 public assist, 1 gas leak and 5 mutual aid, for a total of 18. So far this month of February, we ran 1 firearm, 2 mutual aids, 3 EMS, and a total of 6 for this one so far. And then we're still ordering some stuff and equipment for the new engine. We ordered our Knoxbox key system, that allows us to get in all the commercial buildings. Mr. James and Billy Moore have been going around to all the businesses with pre-planned packets, getting business information, so we put in our new software. And that way we can start kind of doing inspections and stuff, walking around with them, with the businesses.
Thank you. Just like that, we really appreciate the work that the volunteer fire department's doing. I was staying busy taking care of, the calls and things like that, all on a volunteer basis.
Amen.
That's right. Discussion and possible action, item number 4, discussion and possible action on adoption of ordinance number 476. An ordinance authorizing participation with other energy service areas, cities, and matters concerning Energy Texas, Inc. At the Public Utility Commission of Texas in 2023. Authorizing the hiring of lawyers and rate experts, authorizing the city's participation to the full extent permitted by the law and the Public Utility Commission of Texas, finding that the meeting complies with the Open Meetings Act and declaring an effective date.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance number 476.
Thank you.
Second.
I think Mike beat you this
Second.
time, okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? This is an item that comes up every year for us to prove, and it lets the lawyers take care of all the stuff that we don't want to hear about. So, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor of adopting ordinance number 476, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, no. Okay. All right, item number 5, discussion and possible action on authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with Arsenal Wilson and Co. for engineering services under DR 4332-0113, Dayton Street Lift Station Generator.
I move that we authorize the mayor to execute a contract with Arsenal Wilson and Co. for engineering services under DR 4332-0113 Dayton Street Lift Station Generator.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Is this the lift station that's in there on the other side of the building?
North side. North side of the building, dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, it is.
It's just a generator.
It's just a solar generator, so that when we have a power outage, it keeps running.
Yes, sir.
All right, is there any more discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor of the, authorizing the mayor to execute the contract with Arsenal Wilson and Co. At the Dayton Street Lift Station, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Carried. Motion carried. All right, number 7, discussion and possible action on authorizing the city secretary to enter into a joint election agreement with Orange County to conduct the May 6th, 2023 general election. We have a motion.
I move that we authorize the city secretary to enter into a joint election agreement with Orange County to conduct the May 6th, 2023 general election.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? This will be a first for us. First time we not held, the city has not held its own election. And so we're gonna try this year and see how it works out. We may be back to doing it again next year. We'll see. Should save us maybe a little money, maybe not. Hopefully we won't have to have an election. That'd be the best thing.
Yes, sir. That'd be great.
So is there any other discussion? I have a motion in a second. All right, hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. An aye, it's not okay. All right, motion carried.
Mr. Mayor, we skipped number 6.
Did we? I'll take one off before I should. Sorry about that. All right, item number 6, discussion and possible action on approving the recommendation of the Selection Review Committee to award by resolution a contract for engineering services pertaining to the application and implementation, if awarded, of the city's 2023 2024 Texas Department of Agriculture, Texas Community Development Block Grant and authorizing the execution of a contract. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion, yes, sir. I need to read that whole thing.
Yeah.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approving the recommendation of the Selection Review Committee concerning the Department of Agricultural Texas CDBG grant and authorizing the execution of contract. Is there any discussion?
Can we explain that a little bit, maybe, what that's about?
We-
What grant?
Excuse me, hold on a second. So that's called timeout, so okay. Okay, if you look at the resolution, you can see what that's about. Six.
It's a grant that we're applying for, it's about $300,000 for a strategic plan for the city, and possibly other, entities within the city to help put together a long-range plan for services, anticipated needs and that such. So Teresa had to procure an engineer, which she so gracefully did.
So, if you haven't ever been involved in that process, we have a form that we have to fill out, they send in all of their portfolios, is that a
Qualification.
qualification form? And so we review those and based on how we answer those questions, their scores, and the scoring is then gone, Teresa then takes all the scores and adds them up, and one listed was Levin's Engineering Design, LLC. So, we have a motion and a second, don't we?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Didn't we have a motion?
I made the motion.
He didn't read all of that.
I made it.
I helped you.
And who's the second?
There it is.
No, John, sorry.
That we get lost in the weeds.
Amen.
All right, so we've done item 6 and 7. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on accepting into record the quarterly investment report for the months of October 2022 through December 2022.
Move we accept into record the quarterly investment report for the month of October 2022 to December 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the quarterly investment report for the month of October through December 2022. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Moving on to item number 9. Discussion and possible action on a resolution pertaining to the enforcement of commercial motor vehicle safety standards.
I move that we approve the resolution pertaining to the enforcement of commercial motor vehicle standards, safety standards.
I want to read this resolution. Says, whereas, all right, enforcement of commercial motor vehicle safety standards. Whereas there has been tremendous industrial expansion around the West Orange area that will significantly impact the traffic flow and volume in and around the city. And whereas this increase in traffic will in large part be oversized and overweight commercial vehicles heavy trucks and other construction type equipment traveling upon our roadway system, and whereas the extreme weight of these vehicles traveling on our roadways and bridges will mandate additional maintenance and expense for which our small city is not prepared, and whereas this type of traffic will cause confusion and congestion on our roadways, and whereas there is a high possibility that some of these vehicles may inadvertently wander into residential neighborhoods where turning around or backing out might prove hazardous for the driver and the traveling public. Now that therefore be it resolved that the city of West Orange hereby requests the amendment of legislation authorizing the city of West Orange to enforce commercial motor vehicle laws that regulate the enforcement of safety standards for commercial motor vehicles, including but not limited to equipment checks, weight limits, and other commercial motor vehicle laws. With what the city expects as an influx in heavy traffic within West Orange, that's what this is all about. Right now, the Department of Public Safety, the Highway Patrol are the only ones that can stop commercial vehicles for violations. Well, the weight violations and things like that.
We
So-
should get them for speed.
Yeah, so local speed. So, this is to allow our police department to better enforce traffic within West Orange, especially the heavier loads that we expect will be coming through West Orange. Did we get a motion yet?
I think Jay,
Motion.
You made a motion.
Jay and Rita.
We get lost in the weeds sometimes.
Amen.
All right, is there any more discussion?
I think that's a good idea, doing this.
Me too. Is there any more discussion? All right, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Item number 10. Discussion and possible action on a resolution supporting the Homeland Security Grant application.
We're going to motion that we approve the resolution of the Board of Homeland Security Group.
All right, is there any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor of this resolution, say aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Item number 11. Discussion and possible action on a resolution supporting the criminal justice program application grant.
Make a motion that we approve the resolution supporting the criminal justice program.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Item number 12, discussion and possible action on accepting the 2022 racial profiling report as an official city record.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept the 2022 racial profiling report as an official city record.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Where can this, report be seen by the general public? If somebody wanted to see this, where would they be able to see it? Your office? I didn't know if it would be here, or if it would be the police department, or.
That's a good question.
plan.
They
Good
may
way.
have it as well, but I also.
All right, so is there any more discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. All right. Here we are down to announcements. Moving right along. Last announcements, last day to file applications placed on May 6th, 2023 general election ballot, February is February the 17th, 2023. City offices will be closed in observance of President's Day, Monday, February the 20th. Our next council meeting will be Monday, March the 13th, 2023, 5 p.m. Meeting is adjourned.